like 3 interviews today. So mat and not topic we covered last week. Start with this week start down. Anyways, we're gonna practice yoga. We start first. Bring the hands on your low belly. The breath. Hands to the rib cage. Hands to the chest. Breath. And exhale it. Nice one together like that. And drop them back. Out 1/3. 1/3 up all the way to the rib. 1/3 all the way up to the chest. Hands run together with or without the hand. Still imagine you stringing thigh the whole action. And out 1/3 to the low belly. 1/3 to the rib. A bit all the way up to the chest. So continue on your own with or without the hand. Imagine that your torso is like a vessel and you pull water into it. chest to the bottom first, then meet with all the way up part of the vessel. Like when you're cooking a big piece of tofu, you can cut it into smaller cubes, so you can marinate it better, so each piece of tofu gets more flavor. You can even be curious about each off moment between each 1/3. Where your shoulders relax, relax. From one around. Come back. I soften or close if you can. Lower your knee to the right side, the left side. Continue to windshield wiper that like that. Control. Please move with the pace of the breath and the other way around. Well, you can break the flow down just as inhale and exhale. It is a cycle, but you can either break them into 2 bars. Next time we knees to the right side. Right ankle over the left. Gently place your right hand instead of your right inner thigh. And practice your left arm, which is optional. And gaze over to the left shoulder. As you gaze, your eyes might still be closed, but imagine the left shoulder is too far. You can slide upon the right knee. Let the left side body grow. Next time, keep the connection between the right ankle and left knee. Bring your knees back to center and to a figure 4 on your back. Continue to press your right hand against the right inner thigh. Let the right open. Option to stay here. Option 2. Hug the knees toward the chest. Feed the right arm between through the window and interlace your hands in front of the left shin. Long inhale, lengthen to the spine. Next up, pull the left knee closer to the chest. Open the elbows to the side. Use that right elbow to help the right knee to stay open. The right outer hip stretched. Do it small again. All the different muscles, different postures. So we put all of them together. Exhale, slowly release everything. Step your feet down, not pinch together. Drop your knees to the left side. Put your left ankle over the right. Cactus your right arm or extend your right arm out. And gaze over the right shoulder all the way to the far right side. Use your left hand gently rest it on the left thigh. Help you to release a little bit closer to the ground. And maintain the connection between the left ankle and right knee. And step your right foot close to the hip and use the left hand as the left foot. Option to stay here. Option two if you want some outer hip stretch. Put the right knee close to chest. Feed your left hand to the window and interlace your hands to come from right shin. Open the elbows to the side. Guide your right knee close to the chest. Please actually out of the stretch in the early part of the class. So only to the point that we're not interlace the spine. Up into the chest, you can pass through a baby pose. Some hamstring stretch to the baby pose, happy baby. When you're ready, grow off one side or rock back and forth. Come into a table. Take your time to spread a blanket underneath your knees. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hip joints. Also, come down like that. Option to flip the hands, pulling the fingertips forward. But this is all free space, so you can just add on anything that you like to help to warm up your body. Can be a puppy pose, can be a puppy pose on the fingertips, which is more chest opening. Can be some side to side roll or power cat. So whichever flow you decide to do, start with small and then stripify them into a flow. Like when you try to learn a new choreography, you break things down, step by step, and at the end you can mix them together into a dance. Let's start with movement. Touch your toes, move your hands front to the front, and push your elbows up and down on the same dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. If this is your first down dog of the day, like me, it's your time to pedal to one leg and another. Or rock forward into a high plank. If down dog does not work for you, you can always come down to table or child pose. Push your elbows to the side to stay in a child pose. Once you find stillness, Downward facing dog, rock forward into a high plank. Option to release the knees down. Inhale, hug the elbows towards each other, lift the chest up, Bhujangasana. Now exhale, release down to the ground. One more time like that. Inhale, lift the chest up. Option to straighten the arms and lift your pelvis up from the ground. And then tuck the toes and press the tailbones up into downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, step your left foot up. Bring the left knee to the right elbow. Go slow for the first round. Inhale. And exhale, left knee to the right elbow. Last time like that. Inhale, kick the left leg high. Now exhale, draw the left knee to the right elbow and bring it to the left elbow. To the right elbow and left elbow. Last time, step the left foot outside of the left hand and release your right knee down onto the blanket or onto the ground. Right hand down and left hand up into a simple twist. Press into your right palm, but also release your right shoulder away from the right ear. For some of you, you might need a block underneath your right hand. And inhale, reach through the left fingertips. Now exhale, roll your ribs open. And we're gonna start some flow, but before that, we're gonna break them down into each step first. Release your left hand to the back and swing it to the front. And let your right hand rise up together into a low lunge. Then release your right hand down and twisting to the left side. That is one flow. We'll do that. We'll string fight it together. Release your left hand toward the back. Reach it towards front and right hand up together into a low lunge. And do it on your own for 3 more times. And using this, helping us to build some mobility in our left shoulder. And last time, your right hand down, left hand up and twisting to the left side, back to where we were. Option to stay where you are. Option to pull the right heel toward the sit bone. Option to reach back with your left hand and grab the right ankle with your left hand and twisting up toward the sky. And if that does not work for you, you can also grab the right foot with your right hand, which is less of a twist. Whichever kind of bind you have, slowly release the bind. Release the right foot down. And bring the right knee behind the left knee. Find the blocks if you have them. Open the feet to the opposite side. So hands on the blocks. Keep your hands far. Then slowly push your tailbones towards the back, the space between the heels. So kind of like a Gamutasana cow face, but this is early stage, so we're gonna stay like this. Reach your hands toward the front and reach those tailbones up toward the back. And of course, if you have the flexibility and the range of coming into an early cow face pose, go ahead. Some of us were born that can be super flexible the first thing in the morning. That being said, I'm not super stiff in the morning. Then slowly rise back up. Unwind the knees. Sit your hips between the heels. You can put a block between the heels. And hands behind you, tend your fingertips and pop the chest up into a half camel. If this You can also come up onto the shins, hands on the low back, and puff the chest up, press your pelvis up. When you're ready, come into table to neutralize the spine first. Then we'll try the other side. Press the tailbones up. From downward facing dog, lift your right leg up. And exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, push it back. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Last time. Then bring the right knee to the right elbow. Then back to left elbow. Right elbow. Eventually step the right foot outside of the right hand, then release your left knee down. So we've been through this before, but it does not mean that we should not break things down as we did in the last side, because each side is totally different. Keep your left hand down and raise up your right arm. Press into your left hand. You can put a block there if you need to. So establish in this starting point first, reaching through the right fingertips. Exhale, roll your rib cage open toward the sky. Reach your right arm toward the back. And swing your right arm forward and left arm together all the way up into a low lunge. Inhale, reach into the low lunge, and exhale, release your left hand down. Right arm stay up. Back to the twist. Reach your right hand back. Raise up into a low lunge. Now exhale, twist. And continue 3 rounds like that on your own. Break things down as you need. So I'm only providing a guideline here. So you might need to break things down even smaller pieces to suit your needs. You might skip some steps. And next time when you are in that twist again, pull your left heel towards you. An option to reach back with your right hand to grab the left ankle and twisting in a bind. And if that does not work for you, you can use your left hand reaching back instead. The only thing you're missing is the twist, which is no big deal. There's plenty of opportunity to twist in today's practice. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Let your low back be spacious. Exhale, roll your ribcage open. With control, slowly release your left foot down. Right hand down, step your right knee behind your left. Open the feet to the opposite side, find the blocks. We'll come into a variation of Gamutasana. Push your tailbones up to the space between the heels and reach your arms toward the front. Let both sides of the outer hips be open. Let the chest be open. Next, slowly come back to the center. Unwind the knees, the legs. And sit back and come into a camel with hands on the ground or hands on the low back. And after that back bend, come into table to neutralize it first. Then press your hips back up into Ardha Mukha Svanasana. From downward facing dog, you can take many steps to the front, then sit into a Malasana yoga squat. You can also step one foot outside of one hand each time. You can also hop to the front. Eventually, we're all meeting in yoga squat Malasana with hands
As prayer in front of the heart and elbows pressing the thigh bones open. Now turn around so you can see me better. So some of you might find this familiar, which is, I don't think they have a Sanskrit name for this, but it is really good for our hip mobilities. So you can do this by tapping your left knee towards the ground slowly. So you don't want to hurt yourself by just like forcing it toward the ground, only to the point that your body will tell you to stop to the point. And then the other knee toward the ground. And I always teach it like this, but if you want to make it a little bit funkier, I'm not sure if that's a good word, you can tap your knee down in the same arm to the opposite direction to drag that shoulder blade away from each other. And right knee down, right arm reaching forward to the left side. And then switch around. Slow with control. You can add the counting of your breath back. To keep your breath and your movement more engaged with each other. And when you're done, hands down, lift your tailbones up and shimmy your feet close to each other. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, flat back. Exhale, fold over the legs. And rise all the way up. And hand through heart center. By the side, keep your eyes closed for a moment. Just come back to the sound of your breath again. And it is such a natural thing to us that sometimes we forget that our breath also has the inhale and exhale. There's a breakdown space between them. So if you can stay close to the breakdown and use that to help you to break down your posture practice as well. And once you're ready, slowly blink open the eyes and find the blocks and bring them to the top of the mat. Bring the left foot in front of the right, come into a cross leg first. We'll move through some water salute today. If you like to stick to a traditional sun salute, please go for it. Otherwise, we'll flow through some water salute a couple of times together. Inhale, raise up the arms. And exhale, fold over the legs. Step your right foot to the left back corner of the mat. Release your right knee down. Tuck your thigh bones towards the midline. Raise up the arms. And exhale, hands down. Step your left foot to be in front of the right. Break into a high plank first. And exhale, move through the ground. You can halfway pull your chest forward into a crisscross leg, upward facing dog. And exhale, press your tailbones up. Downward facing dog with your right leg on the top. Step your right foot to the left arm. Release your left knee down. Raise up the arms. Exhale, hands down. Step your left foot behind the right. That is half of the one cycle. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold over the legs and rise all the way up. And exhale, hand through heart center. And we continue to break it down. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold over the legs. And step your left foot to the right back corner of the mat. Release your left knee down. Arms up. And exhale, hands down. Step your right foot to be in front of the left. Rock forward into a high plank. Bend through the elbows. Inhale, back bend of your choice. And exhale, press the tailbones up. Then step your left foot to the right thumb. Release your right knee down. Our arms up. And hands down. Step your right foot behind the left. We're back to where we started. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold over the legs and rise all the way up. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands through heart center. And because it's such a complicated salute, so we're gonna break it down together one more time before I send you to flow on your own. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Step your right foot to the left back corner of the mat. Release your right knee down. Arms up. And hands down. Step your left foot to meet with the right. Rock forward into a high plank. Bend through the elbows. Inhale. Back bend of your choice. Exhale, press the tailbones up. And step your right foot to the left thumb. Release your left knee down. Raise up the arms. And hands down, step your left foot to meet with the right. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold over the legs, rise all the way up. And exhale, hand through heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs, step the left foot to the right back corner of the mat. Raise up the arms. And hands down. Step the right foot in front of the left, rock forward, move through Vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And step your left foot to the right thumb, release the right knee down. Raise up the arms, and hands down, step your right foot behind the left. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold over the legs and rise all the way up. And hand through heart center, by the side. 2 more rounds on your own, but make sure that you use at least 1 round of them to break things down to be the same pace of your breath with each inhale and exhale. Before you move faster, you stringify everything together. Sometimes it is tempting to just rush toward the goal, the finish line. I'm not sure if any one of you have signed up for any kind of half marathon or 10K or marathon. Usually the training they give to you is always start with 3K, 5K, 10K, and slowly building up. I don't think anybody would just sign up a marathon and without any training, or they just can go straight run a marathon without training from small. So break things down into smaller pieces, into something that's more achievable. If you're still flowing, take your time. We all meet at the front of the mat in Tadasana. If If you already arrived in Tadasana at the front of the mat, cast your gaze on a steady point or slowly close eyes. Let this be a reflective moment for you. We're going to continue some unusual flow. So, of course, I'll break things down with you until we start stringifying them together. Bring the blocks to the highest height at the front of the mat so you have enough support if you need it. Then step your left foot to the back. Hands can be on the blocks, kind of like in that variation of cow face pose. And if you feel like you can use less support, you can raise up the arms by the ears into an airplane, and all the way come up into a high lunge. If you move the blanket away, and if you know you need support for your sensitive knees, you can use this chance to bring the blanket back to the mat. Otherwise, lower the left knee down to the ground. And inhale, lift it back up. Keep your right knee bent and open to the left side. And twisting, make your right foot parallel with the shoulder edge of the mat. And left foot vertical to the shoulder edge of the mat, and open the arms into a warrior two for facing toward the back of the mat. Bend into the left knee, pressing firmly into the pinky of the right foot. And we'll move to the next step. Turn your chest to the left side again, and turn your right foot to the front, back to where your high lunge or low lunge, depending on where your hands are. Then lower your left knee down to the ground. We're back to here. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Next, we'll bring the left knee up from the ground. Then stand strong to the right knee and kick the left leg forward. Then slowly step the left foot back and land your left foot down. This whole time, remember your hands can be on the blocks if you want. Then release your left knee down and come back up and open yourself into a warrior two, facing toward the back. And turn your arms to the side, hands up by the ears or hands on the blocks. Release your left knee down. Then standing strong to the right leg. Then kick the left leg forward. The hands by the ears or on the blocks. Step the left foot back. Release your left knee down. So this is another round, and we'll do it a couple of times together. Inhale, arms up. Lift your back knee up. Next, open the warrior two to the back. Then turn your chest back to the front. Arms by the ears or on the blocks. Release your knees down. Option from there directly into a standing. You can also lift the back knee up. Arms by the ear or on the blocks. I probably should demonstrate how to do it with hands on the blocks. So hands on the blocks and kick the left leg forward, kind of like a pistol pose. Kick the left foot back, step your left foot down, arms by the ears. Release your left knee down into a low lunge. Rise back up. Warrior two with your left knee bent. And come back to the front into a high lunge or a low lunge, depending on where your knee are. Then lean your chest forward, And stand on your right leg and kick the left leg forward. Then step your left foot back. Last time like that. Release your left knee down. And come back up. Open your chest. Bend into the left leg into a warrior two. Right hand down on the right thigh and left arm by the left ear. Reverse warrior. Reaching through the left arm. Next up, carve your both arms on the ground. Right hand on the ground. Come up onto the ball of your right foot and left arm up into a twist. Inhale, reaching through the left fingertips. Exhale, revolve through the spine. Release your left hand down and walk yourself to the left side of the mat. Parallel your feet and fold over the legs, wide leg fold. Let the outer hip being open again. If your forehead is too far away from the ground, if you don't like it dangling, you can put a block underneath your forehead to catch the weight. And hug off the shoulders with hands. Imagine you're dragging the shoulders blades away from each other. And standing strong through the feet and start slowly leading with the elbows, rise all the way up. Point your right toes toward the front. And bend into the right leg into the warrior two variation. Keep your elbows lifted. Imagine you're pressing them away from you. And carve both arms down. And step your right foot back. Release your knees down. You can come into sit in between the heels and press the chest up. You can also come into a half camel. And then neutralize the spine. We'll meet in downward facing dog. On Ardha Mukha Svanasana, step by step or half forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold over the legs. Raise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. When we'll do the other side, hands on the blocks. And step your right foot to the back. Keep the block the highest height. You can keep the hands on the blocks most of the time. You can also raise up the arms by the ears and rise all the way up into a high lunge. Inhale, raise up to the fingertips. Exhale, release your right knee down. And inhale, lift it back up. And exhale, open your chest to the right side. Bring the right foot, bend into the right leg, and bring the left foot parallel to the shoulder edge of the mat into warrior two. Gaze over the right fingertips toward the back of the mat. And turn your chest back to the front of the mat. Come up onto the ball of your right foot, bend into the left leg. And release your right knee down. Lift it back up. Hands by the ears or hands on the blocks. And step into your left foot and kick the right leg forward. And step the right foot back. Inhale, arms up by the ears or keep them on the blocks, and exhale, release the right knee down. Inhale, rise all the way back up. And exhale, warrior two. Bending into the right leg. Open the arms. Chest back to the forward, high lunge. And exhale, release the right knee down. Inhale, back up. And exhale, kick the right leg forward. Inhale, step the right foot back. And exhale, release the right knee down to the ground into a low lunge. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, warrior two. Last time, chest forward. Exhale, release the right knee down. Inhale, rise all the way back up. And kick the right foot forward. Step the right foot back. Release the right knee down. Rise all the way up. And open your chest to a warrior two. Bend into the right leg. Keep the right knee open to the right side. Pressing firmly into the pinky of the left foot. Reverse warrior. Inhale, reaching from the right fingertip. And next, carry both hands to the back of the mat. Come up onto the ball of your left foot, left hand down, and right hand up into a twist. And release your right hand down. And walk yourself to the right side of the mat, parallel the feet, and fold over the legs. So it's not an easy flow, so be gentle to your body right now. And just let this be a restive moment. If wide leg fold is not restive for you, you can come down, sit down on a blanket, or adding as much as logs you need underneath your forehead. And hug up the shoulders with the hands. I would say switch them around. So the first instinct you go with, switch them around, because very likely you already did it that way last round. Lead with the elbows and come all the way up. Bend into the left leg, into warrior two. Press the elbows far away, drag the shoulder blades away from each other. Next, cover both arms down. Step your left foot back. Release the knees down. Bring the hands behind the low back. And press the pelvis forward into a camel. Come back to neutral. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, step by step, a hop forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Rise all the way up. And hand through heart center. So we're gonna add all the things we've been doing, the chest opening, the hip mobility, the shoulder mobility together in this next round. But we're still gonna go slow, break things down until we build it into something. So first of all, standing strong to the right leg. And cross the left ankle over the right knee. And sit back into almost like a chair pose. So this is a figure four. And use your left hand to press the left knee open. If you need support, you can bring the hands onto the blocks. The toe is tight in front of you. So a lot of left outer hip stretch here. And come stand up, hands on the block, hands and arms by the ears, and step the left foot toward the back into a high lunge. Lower the left knee down into low lunge. Rise up. And open your chest to the left side of the mat, open to the warrior two. And cover both arms on the ground in the back of the mat. Lift up your left arm. Twist. Then walk your hands down and walk yourself to the left side of the mat. and fold all the legs. So from here, you can hug the opposite elbows like we've been doing. You can also bring the left elbow underneath the right and wrap your arms around. Keep the back of the hands touching. You can also bring the palms together only if you're not flexing or stretching your wrist too much. The eagle arms, bring the shoulder blades away from each other. And lead with the elbows, rise all the way up. And into the right leg, into a warrior two, but with eagle arms. Keep the elbows lifted and press the elbows away from the shoulder blades. You can stay here. You can also come up onto the ball of your left foot. For some people, that's not as stable, so you can come into a warrior one stance. Lift your elbows up. And exhale, round your upper back first. Then release everything inside of your right leg. Humble warrior. And release the arms behind if you have them. And step your right foot back. Release your knees down. And come into a camel or half camel. Then neutralize your spine and press your tailbones up into downward facing dog. So this is where we're going to put things together instead of jumping into the next round. Step your left foot up and open the left leg, open the left hip, stack the left hip over the right, pressing firmly into the left palm. You can stay here. You can also step the left foot lightly behind you into a wild thing. Left arm by the left ear. Pressing into the right palm. Keep the right shoulder away from the right ear. Then bring the left hand down and bring the left knee behind the left wrist. Left foot behind the right wrist. Find the blanket or something soft that slide underneath your left hip into a half pigeon. So get a comfortable base first, then come down to the elbows. You can also come down to the palms, stack the forehead on top of the hands. And you can also slide a block underneath your chest to make it more supportive. You can stay here if this is where you want to be. If you feel like you have built something more to get you to something else, you can slowly come back up. And from here, you have a lot of options. You can pull your right foot close to you, grab it with your right hand, and extend your left arm by the left ear. You can also grab it with your left hand, right arm by the right ear. My last offering is, and of course you're not limited to all these options, hook the right foot into your right elbow and bring the left elbow behind the skull and hook the hands together into a mermaid. So all the hip mobility and shoulder mobility and side body stretch all comes into this one place. Whatever kind of bind you went with, release from it carefully. Tuck your right toes and step your left foot up and open the left hip. You can stay there. You can also step your right foot forward and release your left knee down into a low lunge. You can also step your left foot behind you again, come back into a wild thing to reopen the front hip space that has been compressing in the half pigeon. And slowly come back to center. Step by step, half forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold all the legs. Rise all the way up. And hand through heart center. We'll finish the other side. With the blocks the tallest height in front of you, cross your right ankle over the left knee and sit into a figure 4. Arms on the thigh bones. You can also bring the hands onto the blocks for support. Keep pushing the right outer hip open. Then start slowly come back up and step your right foot back. Arms by the ears or arms on the blocks. Release your right knee down slowly. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, open into a warrior 2. Bend into the right leg, straighten the left. And carry both hands down. Come up onto the ball of the left foot. Right arm up. Simple twist. Release your right hand down. Walk yourself to the right side of the mat and fold over the legs. Just stay here. You can also wrap your arms with your right arm underneath left and wrap your arms together into an eagle arm. You can also just hold the opposites of shoulders with the hands and just let the elbows drop away from the shoulders. With each exhale, release the elbows toward the ground. And inhale, slowly leading with the elbows rise all the way up. Bend into the left leg. Warrior 2 with eagle arm bind. Press the elbows away from you. Lift the elbows up to the point of the shoulders. Gaze over the left shoulder to the front. You can come up onto the ball of your right foot. You can also come into a warrior 1 stance, which the bottom of your right foot is on the ground. Inhale, lift up through the elbows. And exhale, round your upper back first, then slowly sink everything inside of your left knee. And release the bind of the arms. And step your left foot back, releasing knees down. And come into a half camel or full camel. Neutralize your spine. And come into a downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift up your right leg. Stack your right hip over the left. Pressing firmly into the right hand. You can stay here. You can also lightly step the right foot behind you. Reach your right arm by the right ear and fall further to the front of the mat. Wild thing. carefully release your right hand down and bring the right knee behind the right wrist. And right foot behind the left wrist. Find the folded blanket or something. Bring it back down underneath your right hip into a half pigeon. And when you're ready, slowly rest your chest against the block or against the ground. Let this quiet moment be the place you're putting every small things you've been breaking down, putting them together to build this one last bigger thing. Think about how you'd like to construct them. There's no better or worse. It's only what's more suitable and what's less suitable for yourself. Of course, you can decide to stay here in this half pigeon. But if you like to come into one of the binds, you can slowly support yourself, come up. And pull the left foot close to you. You can grab it with the left hand. And reach up your right arm by the right ear. You can also grab it with the right hand. And reach out your left arm by the left ear. Last offering is Mermaid on this side. Hook your left foot inside of the left elbow. Bring the right elbow behind your skull and connect your hands if you can. And reach your right elbow up toward the sky and press your chest open. Whichever bind you have, slowly release from it. If you're not in a bind, still in half pigeon, slowly support yourself to come back up. And we'll reopen the front hip crease. Tuck your left toes and step your right foot back. Stack your right hip over the left again. You can step your left foot forward and right foot back into a low lunge. You can also step your right foot behind you, coming back into a wild thing. And press your pelvis toward the sky. And carefully come back to center. And release the knees down. And last little bit things that I like to build with you guys is, I know we've done some camel pose or half camel, but let's do this last little bit together. Bring the blocks by the side of your feet. Left hand onto the block and press your pelvis up and right arm by the right ear. And swing your right arm down, release your pelvis down. Right hand on the blocks on the right side. And swing your left arm up, press your pelvis up into a half camel. We'll do it twice more on each side like that. Release back, left hand on the block, right arm by the right ear. And right hand down, left arm by the left ear. Last time on both sides. And there's an option to put all those together. And the block's still there. You can even adjust it to tolerate the height if you need it. And come stand on the shins. And bring the hands onto your low back. Press your pelvis forward, pop the chest up. Relax your neck, relax your head. And if you want the block, you can release one hand on one block at each time. And you can release both hands on the block, come into a Shabasana for Camel Pose. And if you do not have a block, you can tuck your toes to elevate your heels a little bit and put your hands on the heels. Bring the hands onto the low back, tuck the chin towards the chest, and slowly come back up. And come sit onto the heels first. And slowly transitioning onto your back. Bring the blocks and the blankets close to you. Bring the feet as close to the hips, and slide a block or two underneath your sacrum. Supported bridge pose. And of course, if you feel like you have more energy to burn, you can slide the block away, come into an active bridge pose. Just let this posture that continue to open the chest, but in the meantime, neutralize your spine a little bit more. So we are transitioning from a deep back bend to a gentle back bend. And of course, you can stay in this posture before your Shabasana. But if you like to, you can bring the block lowest to height. And lift your legs up into a waterfall. You can also bring yourself close to a wall and just let your legs resting on the wall. And just to stay close to all the small accomplishments you've done tonight in the practice, and knowing, trusting that it will be something bigger and bring us into the place you want to be in the future. But now just let the effort sinking in and getting yourself ready for Shabasana. If your legs are already on the wall, this is a great place to be Shabasana. If your low back is on the block, slowly release your feet down and bring the block to the side. Extend the legs out. Rest the arms by the side. And whenever you're ready, Shabasana. When we're in a quieter space, things tend to come towards us, the thoughts, emotions, things that want to grab our attention. For now, simply observe. And if you think you're ready to shift your attention back to those thoughts, the things around you, stop wiggling your toes and fingertips. And if you like where you're staying, you're welcome to stay. Use your hands to carefully support yourself to come up into a comfortable seat. Let's just take 3 more cycles of long breath together. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, let everything out. And a long breath in. And exhale, let everything out. And one last time. And exhale, smoothly let everything release. And get the hand in front of the heart. And bow your head toward the heart. And whenever you're ready, slowly blink open the eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me tonight. I look forward to seeing you again next week.